ties it up.
Holy Ghost is on the move.
Yeah, Firebirds had a lot of momentum.
Right from the jump for the Firebirds, who look really good.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Chapman Arena here in the Firebird Fieldhouse at Holy Ghost Prep. And tonight we have some amazing basketball for you between the 9-9 Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and the 15-3 Radnor Raiders. This is going to be one amazing game, especially on Mike Standish night, a night we are using to honor a facilities man who put 30 years of his life into working on this amazing school. And what a great night to honor him, naming the student section after him.
Privilege to observe and support high school athletics.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Chapman Arena. Starters have just been announced. For the Firebirds, it is Zach Charlin, Robbie Segarich, Tommy Nahill, Adrian Varela, and Gavin McLaughlin. And for the Radnor Raptors, it is Harrison Seppa, Michael Savadov, Sawyer Smith, Henry Pierce, and Elijah Sellers to get this game tipped off. Student section getting hyped. 32 minutes of Holy Ghost Prep basketball coming your way in just a second. Here comes the tip-off. It will be Nahill versus Sellers. Tip is up. Nahill hits it to Charlin, and the Firebirds gain possession. McLaughlin, ball at the key. Tries to get around Pierce. Passes out. Charlin. Charlin at the key to Segarich, to Varela. Varela back to Charlin. Drives out to Ace at the corner. Passes Segarich. 3 up and off the rim. Nahill attempted the rebound, did not get it. It's going to be Henry Pierce taking it up for the Raptors. Pierce hits Smith. Smith out to Savadov. Savadov drives out to the corner to Seppa. Seppa over to Savadov, to Seppa again. 3 is up and it is good. Right through the rim, and 3 points jump on the board early for the Radnor Raptors. McLaughlin gets ball, gets it off to Charlin. Charlin to Segarich at the key. McLaughlin to Charlin. Charlin attempts the drive and gets blocked. Nahill going around traffic. Dishes to Varela at the key. Varela drives, spin move, is stripped. Regains possession. Gets it back to Charlin. Charlin to McLaughlin. McLaughlin directing. Trying to find an outlet. Finds Varela for 3. It is up. And it's off. Nahill recovers and lays it in. 2 points on the board for the Firebirds, making it a 1-point game. A minute 45 in. Here comes Pierce on the drive. Pierce out to Savadov. Savadov to Sellers. Sellers back in, and Sawyer Smith takes a hit off the backboard. Makes it a 3-point game once again. Here's McLaughlin finding Varela over by the Radnor sideline. Varela to Nahill. Nahill to Charlin over the middle. Gets stripped. Wide open court for Savadov, and he will lay it in. It's a 7-2 lead for the Radnor Raptors. McLaughlin to Nahill. Varela over by the fleur-de-lis, floats it up and it goes in. Firebirds scoring once again, making it a 3-point game. Savadov over to Pierce. Pierce to Smith. Smith trying to get in, will not do so. And Nahill will recover the fumble. The call's gonna be a foul on Sellers. And it looks like it will be Segarich to pass the ball in. More than likely to Varela. And that's what it will be. Varela taking it up across the emblem at midcourt. Varela insta drive over the middle, doesn't go in. McLaughlin from 3 is up, and it's off and recovered by Sellers. Sellers over to Pierce. Pierce one-on-one with Segarich, trying to get around him, will do so. Pierce out to Savadov. Savadov over to Pierce once again. Pierce drives on Segarich, passes over. Sellers is hit by McLaughlin, and that will be a foul on Gavin McLaughlin, the first of the Firebirds this game. Here's Pierce to inbound. Over to Savadov. Savadov for three. It is up, and it does not hit the rim off the backboard. Nahill rebounds. Almost a bad pass, but Segarich does recover. And Segarich is stripped. That's going to be Savadov once again. Savadov to Sellers over the middle. Nahill goes for the block and misses. Back to a 5-point lead for the Radnor Raptors halfway through the first quarter. Segarich drives and is fouled by Radnor. Seems to be a pushing call. The "you can't do that" chants coming from the student section. Maybe the biggest student section the Firebirds have had the entire year. Very fitting for the day that we named the student section in honor of Mike Stanish. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the day, Mike Stanish was a facilities man here for almost 30 years, did everything he could to help this school and this team, was here cheering every game. And here's Charlin, and he is blocked. I had to go get the ball. This is going to be Segarich to inbound. Looking for an outlet. Varela over the middle, lays it in. Firebirds put two more on the board. It's a 9-6 game. Halfway through the first. Pierce over to Savadov, to Sellers. Sellers drives in the middle. Doesn't take the layup, instead dishes out to Savadov. Savadov to Smith. Up. And it's rebounded by Charlin. Over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Charlin for three. It is up. And it is off. And will be rebounded by Savadov. A lot of missed threes in this first quarter for both squads. And there's another shot going up for Pierce, and it will also not go. Here's McLaughlin. Wide open drive over the middle, and is blocked. Nahill rebounds. Segarich to Charlin. Charlin drives and lays it in. It's a 1-point game in favor of the Raptors. The Firebirds are starting off a streak. Defense chants going incredibly for the student section. Varela on press. Going to Savadov. Savadov dishes out to Sepa in the corner. Savadov to Smith. To Sepa. Whistle blown. Awaiting the call. It'll be a foul on Segarich. And the Radnor Raptors will retain possession. And it looks like here comes a switch. Kessie Cox coming in for the Radnor Raptors. And Cox immediately gets the ball and is knocked away by Nahill. Duffy tosses the ball in, getting his first touch on the ball this game. Charlin over to Varela, to McDonald, who was also in. Charlin, so Duffy to Varela in the corner. Three is up. Oh, and it rolls around the rim and goes out. Duffy with a nice rebound over to Nahill. The two biggest men on the HGP squad on the field simultaneously trying to clearly dominate the paint. And they're going to call a travel on Liam Duffy, giving the ball back to the Raptors. Interesting strategy, putting the two tallest men the Firebirds have to offer on the court at once. They're trying to dominate the paint, and seems like they're going to start doing so after this possession. Here's Cox. Over to Smith. Smith back to Pierce. Pierce to Savadov. Savadov looking for an outlet, finds Pierce. Pierce drives 3-on-1 and attempts to pass to Cox. Goes out of bounds. Student section goes wild. Firebirds gain possession, I believe. Yes, they will. And Varela will be the one to toss it in. Ref bringing the ball to the athletic director. I'm questioning as to why. It's a student section issue. Student section has to get back, as the ref believes they could potentially interfere with the game. So that is the situation we just ended. And Varela passes into McDonald. McDonald to Varela. One-on-one with Savadov. Drives in, passes out. Duffy, McDonald. McDonald is stripped away on a pass attempt. It's going to be Savadov to Sellers over the middle. And they're calling a travel. An incredible shot from Sellers. Unfortunately, does not count due to a travel call. And substitutions will come in for the Firebirds. It will be McLaughlin coming back in and Steinmetz coming in for the first time in replacement of Nahill and Varela. Here comes Duffy over to McDonald. McDonald out to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to McDonald in the corner. McDonald to Charlin. Charlin back to McDonald. McDonald drives, gets to the foul line, and is knocked away by one of the Radnor Raptors. I believe it was Sawyer Smith. And here will be McLaughlin to toss it in. McLaughlin throws it behind midcourt to McDonald. McDonald to Charlin. Charlin is stripped. It's Sellers driving once again. He goes up on Duffy and scores! What a drive from Sellers, getting around the incredibly tall sophomore in Liam Duffy. Gets the and one as well. What an overall great play from Sellers. They are subbing Varela back in for Duffy. And the Raptors have a chance to make it a 12-8 ball game. Shot is up, and it is good. A 12-8 lead for the Raptors. Steinmetz passes into McDonald. McDonald, left wing to Charlin. Charlin back to McDonald. Drives around the foul line. Tries to get around, cannot. Charlin out to Steinmetz to Varela over the middle. Does not have a clear lane to the basket. McLaughlin with a nasty layup. Going under and over. Laying it up right off the backboard into the rim, and it's a 2-point lead for the Raptors with 35 seconds to play in the first quarter. Sellers matched up on Steinmetz. Sellers to Owen Smith. Owen Smith to Kessie Cox. Cox drives out to Sellers at the wing. Pierce directing. Some moves. Puts it up on McLaughlin and gets it in. Raptors showing off some layup packages early in this game. 5 seconds to play. McDonald drives, lays it up, and it goes in. 14-12 game, and that will be the first quarter. It is a 14-12 lead for the Radnor Raptors after 8 minutes of play. Great first quarter for both squads. The three ball was not dropping, but the layups were shown. Some special layup packages, putting up points on the board. It is a 14-12 ball game. Head into the second. Second quarter tips off with the Radnor Raptors having possession. It's going to be Pierce, passes back to Savadov, to Sellers. It will be knocked out of bounds. Firebirds get possession 15 seconds in. Stendardo into McDonald. McLaughlin around the ring, over to Varela. Varela drives in, gets the and one, and the Firebirds have a chance to take the lead. The foul shot is no good. And Radnor takes over. It's going to be Sellers. Sellers on Nahill. Layup is up. Is it good? Yes, it is. And Sellers will take another foul shot. Up, and it is good. Radnor with a 3-point lead, 17-14. McDonald to Nahill. Nahill posting up, loses the ball. Radnor regains it. Stendardo dives for it. And it's called Radnor ball. Considered a foul on Stendardo. I don't know exactly what, but the foul is called on Mark Stendardo. Ball's going to be tossed in to Savadov. Sizing up Varela. Savadov drives on Varela, dishes out to Sellers. Sellers didn't see it coming. McLaughlin re-gets it, dishes to Nahill. Nahill back to McLaughlin to Stendardo. McLaughlin drives up, and it is good! Gavin McLaughlin with the layup, putting the Firebirds back within one. And here comes the foul shot to tie it all together. Magic fingers up. McLaughlin shoots and doesn't come close. Radnor gets possession. It's Sellers over to Cox. Cox one-on-one with McLaughlin. Over to Savadov. Savadov inside. Out to Pierce. Pierce for three. It is no good. Varela rebounds. Drives out to Stendardo in the corner. Stendardo signaling. Nahill goes for three. And oh boy. Off the backboard. Recovered by the Radnor Raptors. It's going to be Pierce one-on-one with Stendardo. The pick is set by Sellers. Knocked away. Is that still in? It is ruled out. Firebird ball on the sideline. Here comes McLaughlin. McLaughlin over to McDonald. McDonald to Varela in the corner. Varela driving, 2-on-1, gets snatched, goes to McDonald for three. Off. Varela with a great rebound. Stendardo receives the ball from Varela. Varela for three is up and barely falls out of the rim. McDonald steals up and is fouled. Great play from McDonald. The bringer of fouls does it once again. Here comes two foul shots for McDonald. First is up, and it is good. Firebirds tie this game up with a chance to take the lead. Second one follows, is good. Firebirds take a 1-point lead. Here comes Savadov to inbound. Pierce to Cox to Savadov. And Sawyer Smith lays it in to regain the lead for the Radnor Raptors. Stendardo calling McLaughlin, passes the ball right to him. Segarich Amazing mid-range floater puts the Firebirds on top once again. We're seeing lead changes back and forth. Here comes Cox driving out Sendardo. Sendardo fails the strip sack and will lay it in. Radnor regains the lead once again. Varela drives in the middle, and they're calling a foul on Varela. It'll be a charge. What a play. Heston arguing the call. Seems differences have been neutralized. Radnor regains the ball. Cox was open over the top, instead decides to pass short to Sawyer Smith, who tosses it to Savadov, one-on-one with Varela. Savadov over towards the free throw line, back to Cox. Cox over to McFadden. McFadden out to Smith. It is no good. Varela crossover, destroying Savadov. Steinmetz drives on Savadov and will not get it. Rebounded by Sawyer Smith. Back over to Henry Pierce. Pierce to Savadov, and he will get the layup. Back to a 3-point lead for the Radnor Raptors. Here's Segarich. Segarich to Varela. Varela to McLaughlin. McLaughlin back to Varela. Fakes the three. Drives once again and is blocked on the layup. Couple words exchanged. Coach Heston putting his hands up. Three is up and Cox airballs. McLaughlin rebounds and is knocked away. Regained by Radnor. Cox drives, Euro step, and is no good. Some boos from the student section. And this is not good. Never good to see somebody down. And the mop comes out from Aramark Mike, and he spikes it.
Hello.
So we have our first guest of the stream midway through the second quarter. It is SGA Vice President Michael Maltese. How you doing, man?
Oh my gosh, so good. The energy here, you tell me about it, but I think it's awesome.
It's electric, dude. First foul shot is up for Cox, and it is no good.
Yeah, I'm over here with my shirt off. I'm the Owen Ghost, but yeah, all the boys, like the student section, look at it. It speaks for itself.
It's amazing. It's probably the best I've seen this year.
Yeah, you know what? It might be one of the best I've seen in my whole 4 years here.
I totally agree. It's amazing. Second one's up and good. Radnor takes a 4-point lead. Here comes McDonald. Crosses the emblem. McDonald over to Charlin. Charlin left wing. Dishes Stendardo over at the key. Stendardo to Charlin, fakes the three, goes mid-range, over the top, McDonald out Stendardo, corner three, up! It is no good, recovered by Radnor.
And then there's Mark, academic
weapon.
Yes, 4.7 GPA in the classroom. I had the chance to know myself. I had the privilege to call one of my friends. Very good guy.
Wow, what a shot right there from McFadden. But yeah, a lot of the sports teams have been starting to post their athletic academic teams. It's pretty cool to see.
Yes.
And there's Nahill in the post. Nahill destroys Cox in the post. What a play from Nahill.
He really impresses me. I have Caden over here smirking. He's very good, right, Caden? Nahill's very good, very talented.
Nahill's incredible. 6'7", I believe. And he's always been the tallest kid in this junior class.
You know what? You know what I want to... If Nahill, if you go back and watch this, I challenge you to dunk in the ball in game. That's my challenge. What do you think about that, Jack?
Hey, you know, it'd be fun to see. I haven't seen many dunks since, like the Dylan Sheed days.
That's what I mean.
Way back when.
Way back when. That's what I'm looking forward to. All right, I'll let Caden hop back on.
All right, it was great having you, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
We are back. 2:45 to play in the second. What a great time it was having a little conversation with Pezzi midstream. And so it's going to be Smith over to Pierce. Pierce drives 4-on-1, doesn't get it, but Savadov picks it up and lays it in. A 7-point lead for the Raptors. Firebirds need to start mounting a comeback. McDonald with a disgusting layup, a windmill lay to get the Firebirds back within 5. Now here's Savadov. Setting up Charlin. Charlin gets picked by Sellers. Over to Smith. Smith to Cox. Cox lays it. It is no good. It will be Firebird ball. Approaching the 2-minute warning of the second quarter, if there was one. But hypothetically, there can be. Here's McLaughlin passing into Varela. Adrian Varela, of course, player of the year last year and putting up even better numbers than he did last year this year. Truly just an incredible ball player. And so he's going to be Segarich over at the foul line to McLaughlin to Varela for 3. It is up and it is gone! Varela drains the 3. Firebirds back within 2. What was I just saying? Varela's just one of those guys you don't see very often. He's so good. I just don't even know how to describe it. He's putting up 20s on the board almost every game. And Charlin robs Smith to Varela, and it's good! Varela lays it once again. This game is tied. Savadov to Pierce. Pierce throws it into no man's land. Firebird ball with a minute left. I am getting lightheaded. All right, McLaughlin to Varela over at the Emblem. Varela to Charlin. Charlin drives. It is up, and it is good. The and one for Charlin gives the Firebirds the lead. 55 seconds to play in the first half. Sub coming in. It's going to be Stendardo for Varela. Getting some rest before halftime. Charlin up. And good. That makes it a 10-0 run for the Firebirds of Holy Ghost Prep. 55 seconds to play in this amazing first half of basketball. And the 9-9 Firebirds are putting up an electric fight against the 15-3 and 8-1 in away games Radnor Raptors. Now this is Radnor's third game consecutive back-to-back-to-back days, winning both the previous two. The three is up and it is no good. Firebirds will gain the ball. Since this game was originally scheduled, Radnor has played 6 games, the Firebirds 3. So Radnor has doubled the experience since then, but are also pretty tired due to the fact they've played 3 games consecutive. Varela over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to get around Smith, will not happen. McLaughlin dishes Charlin. Segarich drives, layup, no good, goes up, and Cox rebounds. Dishes, what a pass over to Henry Pierce. Great assist. And Varela takes a hit on the trip from Cox. Ref sorting it out. The clear foul. Firebirds keep it. And it will be shots for Varela. Ref making sure he's okay to continue. Free throw is up, and as always, is good. Firebirds put another on the board. Second one continues in its path. It's a 3-point lead for the Firebirds with 7 seconds left. Radnor will need to get a shot off. It's going to be Savidov into Pierce. Pierce looking for 3. Savidov has ball, shoots over Segarich. It is no good. Charlin throws it up and almost makes it. At halftime, it is the Firebirds 34, Raptors 31. And what an electric start to this game we've seen from both sides. Layups, threes, you got it all. Amazing defense. This has been one of my favorite games this year. So this game will be huge for the Firebirds if they can pull out a win here. The Firebirds are currently sitting at 7.713 points per game in the district rankings. If they win this game, that would, I believe, be around 14 or 15 points, which would bring their average 2 spots up. So the Firebirds would go from what I believe to be the 10 seed into the 8 seed with the win over the Radnor Raptors tonight. Firebirds lead 34-31. Halftime celebration will begin. What a first half we have. And I will see you back here at the start of the third quarter. Here we go. Third quarter has begun here at the Chapman Arena. A few passes around for the Firebirds. Varela to McLaughlin to Nahill to Sharlin for three. Firebirds 6-point lead immediately. And Pierce answers with a layup of his own. It's now a 4-point lead for the Firebirds before I even finish my sentence. Now Sharlin drives out to McLaughlin in the corner. McLaughlin, Sagarich out to McLaughlin for three in the corner. It is up, and it is off. Will be recovered by Sawyer Smith. Smith behind the back to try to get around Sharlin, will not do so. Pierce spin move on Sagarich, and will not go. Sagarich rebounds. Sagarich is knocked away on the pass. Sawyer Smith just chucking the ball up, recovered by Varela. And it goes out of bounds. Will remain Firebird ball. Just to repeat, Radnor is 8-1 away this season, but the only one loss coming to Pencrest by 4. Here's Sharlin for three, and it goes right over the rim and will be Radnor ball. Firebirds have had 2 insanely hectic games right before this. A huge game against state-ranked Ben Salem, going to overtime, in which they would win it 86-83, where Varela dropped 27 points. Ball will go out on the Firebirds. Radnor will retain possession. And the second game against Penwood for the Firebirds had a 19-point swing in the third quarter, including 13 from Sagarich. So go check out those streams if you haven't yet. Here's Varela off the rebound, puts it up. No good, gets his own rebound, and lays it in. Firebirds get the 6-point lead back. 39-33. Defense chance going up. Sellers around Duffy. Out to Pierce. Pierce to Cox, and he will lay it in. 4-4. Make it a 4-point ball game. I was about to say for 4 points. It is not. And Sagarich going for the layup and gets bodied. That's going to be a foul. And it will be 2 shots from the line for Sharlin. First of 2 is up and good. Sagarich subs out for Nahill. And Sharlin drains the other. It's a 6-point lead once again. Here comes Cox. Cox dishes out to Sellers. Sellers over to Pierce. Pierce to Stavadov, and a nasty layup over the top from Pierce. Puts it to 4-point lead once again for the Firebirds. Here's Varela. Nice dish over to Duffy. Duffy to Sharlin. Fakes the 3. Over to Varela. At the key. Drives. Chucks it up. Will not go. Gets the rebound. And lays it in. Varela. Once again. And once again, for like the 90th time, a 6-point lead for the Firebirds. Here's Sellers for a mid-range 2. It's 43-39. It's another 4-point lead. Keep going back and forth. Varela to McLaughlin. McLaughlin looking for an outlet. Sharlin open. Will pass to him. Sharlin to Nahill. Bad ball. Got away from Smith. Varela blocks him. And they're calling it. What a block from Varela. Varela can really do it all. What a play. I don't know what the student section is saying, but they're all chanting it. And there's going to be a layup for the Raptors. It's a 2-point game. Here's Varela. Out to Charlin. Charlin to McLaughlin. McLaughlin in the corner is knocked away on a drive attempt. It will remain Firebird ball and will more than likely be Charlin tossing it in. And it is. Charlin to Segarich over at 3. To McLaughlin. To Charlin. It is up and it is good! Firebirds! Another 3 on the board from Charlin. He drains it. 5-point lead for the Firebirds halfway through the third. Their Sellers puts one up and puts it right back. A 2-point lead for the Firebirds once again on back-to-back threes from Charlin and Sellers. Varela, he does it again! Layup! Firebirds make it 4. Cox over to Smith. Smith in the paint. It will be Pierce. Pierce mouths come on to the bench. Here's Segarich. Almost loses the ball to Charlin, to McLaughlin. McLaughlin around the key. Fakes out Pierce over to Segarich. Segarich drives, knocks a man down. Up and good! Segarich knocks the man down and puts it up and puts it in. 4-point lead once again. Sellers puts up a 3 and it is no good. Savadov trying to fix some threes. Will not happen. Will be Radnor ball. I cannot begin to explain how electric this game is. Whew. Segarich goes up for the block, will not get it, but will get the miss with a Charlin rebound. Charlin to Varela. Varela out to Segarich for 3 from the corner. It is good! The Trinity trades a 3. Firebirds go up 7. Timeout called. Coach Heston is fired up. The Firebirds setting the arena and fuego. Student section hyped. Firebirds are going wild. 7-point lead. 2.5 to play in the third. Here's the inbound. Cox at the emblem. Over to Smith. Smith back to Cox. 3 ball is up and no good by Sawadov. Varela with the rebound. Varela drives to McDonald. McDonald dishes out to Duffy. Duffy back to McDonald. McDonald, Charlin Varela. Driving to the corner. Duffy will not shoot. Firebirds playing hot potato with the ball. Duffy, once again, a wide open 3, elects not to shoot. Segerich finally does, and it is no good. Firebirds take 20-ish seconds off the clock. Cox will put it up, and it will be no good. Segerich, one-on-one. Not a great ball, but the Firebirds will retain possession. McDonald to Segerich to Duffy. Out to Charlin, bad ball. Will be out of bounds. Radnor will gain possession. Student section spilling out into the doorway. Ball is tossed in. Here is Cox taking it up. Cox over to Savadov. Savadov puts it up, and it will be knocked away. Nahill almost scores on his own rim. And it will go out of bounds. Coach was yelling timeout. Will it be called? At least I believe it was the coach. Wiping down the floor once again. Coach Heston yelling the call. His voice sounds almost as dead as mine does. And now here's McLaughlin to toss it into Varela. Adrian Varela taking it up. Dribbling at midcourt. Over to Segerich. Segerich gets it knocked away by Sellers. Sellers recovers. Puts it up. And no good. Foul will be called on Segerich. Here goes Sellers, and it is good. Again, student section chanting something I cannot understand. Second one follows. It is a 5-point lead for the Firebirds. Varela over to McDonald. Back to Varela. Varela to McLaughlin, to McDonald, to Segerich in the corner. Segerich fakes a pass over the middle, will instead go to McDonald, slight left. Back to Charlin in the corner, knocked away. And recovered by Segerich to Varela in the corner. And it is no good. What could have been? Chucked up. It's gonna be Cox, pressed. Sellers gets around, lays it in. And the third quarter will end with a 3-point lead for the Firebirds, 53-50. A more normal quarter than we saw in the first half, but still an electric one at that. Firebirds maintain a 1-possession, 3-point lead over the Radnor Raptors after 24 minutes of play, 8 left to go. We will see you at the end of this timeout. Ball is tossed in. It's going to be Cox over at the foul line. Sellers up. And air balls. Not very Kobe-esque of him right there. And that will go to Sendardo over to McDonald. Sendardo to McDonald to McLaughlin. And it will be picked off like Malcolm Butler over to Cox over the middle. Cox puts it up, a floater. It is good. Raptors come back within one. McLaughlin to McDonald. Back to McLaughlin. Back to McLaughlin again. To McDonald. Back to McLaughlin again. Back to McDonald. I swear. Over to Segarich. Back to McDonald. Over to McLaughlin again. And finally, Sendardo puts up a three. It is no good. Recovered by McDonald. Over to Sendardo. Over to Segarich to McLaughlin again. Segarich drives and misses the layup, but the foul is called. I don't know if I've ever seen a single player get more touches on one possession as I did just there with McLaughlin. Just like the Holy Ghost fans going crazy here in the student section, Radnor fans going crazy in the keyboard warrior section. Here's Segarich taking a foul shot. Segarich puts it up, and it is good. Firebird 2-point lead. Here's Cox, the 6'4" senior, and gets it stripped. Holds on, dishes out. Firebird ball. Duffy over to Varela. Sendardo to Duffy. To Sendardo. To Varela. Varela to the corner. It's Charlotte. It's up. It is off. Radnor rebounds. It's Cox. Cox over the middle. And a huge and one for the Radnor Raptors. With the potential to take the lead once again. Up and recovered by Varela. Varela to Segarich. Back to Varela. Varela up! No good. Rebounded by Radnor. That's going to be Seppa back on the court. Here's Cox to Seppa. Wide open three, elects not to take it. Sellers over the middle. And lays it up on Liam Duffy. And it's a 2-point lead for the Raptors. Here's Sendardo. To Segarich. To Charlotte. Back over to Sendardo. Duffy in the corner. Back to Varela in the corner. To Segarich. To Charlotte. To Sendardo. Going around the three-point ring. Sendardo fakes the handoff to Varela. Varela back. Sendardo for three. It is good. Firebirds retake the lead, and a timeout is called. Firebirds lead 57-56 with 5:05 left in the game. Here comes the inbound. It's going to be Pierce who gets back on the court. Over to Cox. Cox dishes to Seppa. Seppa back to Pierce. Pierce out to Savadov. To Seppa. Back to Pierce. Pierce mid-range. Up. No good. Rebounded by Varela. Varela takes the ball back up court. Almost loses it. And then does lose it. Pierce recovers over to Seppa. Seppa drives. Sellers does not get the pass. And McLaughlin gets it. Varela is down by the Radnor basket. Radnor does score. Athletic trainer coming over towards the broadcasting booth. This is not a great sight for Firebird fans. This is tragic. Here comes Cox across midcourt. Up and a nice drain three from Pierce. This game's tied up with 4 minutes to play. McDonald out to Charlin. Charlin drives in, out. Segarich, three, up. It is good! Firebirds answer! 62-59, Firebird lead. Here's Savadov drives in. No good, knocked out of bounds. Will stay Radnor ball. This game's been neck and neck for almost the entirety. Pierce tosses in. It's Sellers for three. It is no good, knocked away by Charlin. Cox with the easy layup, getting them back within one. McDonald to Segarich, to Charlin, to McLaughlin. Back to McDonald, to Charlin. Charlin, fake drives, Duffy. Fake drives again. No one's open. Finds McDonald. Tight defense from Radnor. Charlin over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin, Charlin. Drives and is blocked by Pierce. And they are calling a foul. It will be free throws for Zach Charlin. First one is up and drain for Zach Charlin. Charlin puts it up, and it is good once again. 3-point lead once again for the Firebirds. Now here is Kessie Cox. Cox finds the hole, gets it over to Savadov, and it does go in. And here's McDonald. Once again, regains the ball from McLaughlin. Layup will not go. Tried to show off the layup package. Unfortunately, did not work. Cox dishes out to Savadov. Savadov drives, is stopped by Sandardo. Out to Cox. Pierce receives. Out to the corner, it's Smith. Smith drives. Gets it over Duffy. And the and one is called. Radnor with a chance to get a 2-point lead back with 2:10 left. Here's Sawyer Smith, the 6-foot guard, a junior, puts it up, and it is good. A 2-point lead for the Raptors. Timeout is called. And here comes the home stretch for both squads vying for this win. A 2-point difference, been neck and neck all game. Can't wait to see where it ends up. Raptors lead by 2. Segerich. Here's Segerich to Charlin. Over to McLaughlin in the corner. McLaughlin finds Charlin, fakes the 3. Drives, knocked away, and Cox has it. Will he keep it? And timeout was called. We will see whose ball it was afterwards.
Radnor calls timeout.
Back on the court. Pierce over to Savadov. Savadov gets around Segerich. Radnor most likely trying to drain clock. Over to Pierce. Bass falls. It's going to be Smith calling a pushing foul. On Bass. Here's Savadov. Segerich hits the deck. Over to Pierce. Pierce finds an outlet in Savadov. Savadov over to Pierce, over to Cox, and it's a layup from Radnor. They take a 4-point lead with under 30 seconds to play. Segarich to Sendardo, 20 seconds left. Knocked away by Radnor, and it's picked off. The foul, they're calling the foul on the floor. Passes in, and it is laid up by Smith. McDonald drives, knocked away, recovered by Radnor, and that will do it. The Radnor Raptors walk out of this game with a win, 70-64. Firebirds putting up a valiant fight, falling in the end. But what a game that was from both sides. But incredible game from the Radnor Raptors, especially on defense. Just incredible fundamentals from the Radnor Raptors there, just taking everything they got and capitalizing. And the Firebirds go down, fall to 9-10. But what a game that was, 70-64 in the final. The Radnor Raptors defeat the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds. And that will be it here from the Chapman Arena. Thank you, and good night. Firebirds fall to the Radnor Raptors 70-64 in heartbreaking fashion after a neck-and-neck game through just around 30 minutes after just putting electric scenes on during this game. Student section was electric. What a game it was, despite the 2-minute fall-off we had here at the end. An unfortunate ending, a heartbreaking ending on such an important night for the Firebirds. But Radnor is one incredible team. Firebirds held their own for the majority of this fight. What an incredible game it was for Coach Heston's Firebirds and Coach Smallwood's Radnor Raptors. A hard-fought game, 6-point win for Radnor. I'm Jack Dobbins. Have a good night.
Holy Ghost is on the move.
Yeah, Firebirds had a lot of momentum.
Right from the jump for the Firebirds, who look really good.